Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we are going to start with the phosphorus cycle. You know, we are discussing the biogeochemical cycles. And today we are going to discuss the biochemical transformations of phosphorus. So by now we have discussed nitrogen and sulfur. And today we are going to discuss the transformations of phosphorus, how microorganisms are involved in various biochemical transformations. So you know that the phosphorus is actually critical to all life forms. Why? Because it is important biomolecule such as DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, phospholipids, and ATP. You know, these are very important compounds which play a very significant role in the living organisms. So that's why, and phosphorus is an essential component of all these compounds. So that's why we say that it is critical to all life forms. And the primary mineral form of phosphorus is rock phosphate or apatite. So mostly the phosphorus is taken up as, not taken up, rather the phosphorus in mineral form, it is mostly present as rock phosphate or apatite. And the amount of total phosphorus that is found in surface soil can vary greatly, ranging from less than 100 microgram phosphorus per gram, that is about 200 kg per hectare in a very sandy soil, to more than 1000 microgram per gram, that is 2000 kg per hectare in soils derived from basic rocks, right? So in a very sandy soil, the phosphorus can be present up to 200 kg per hectare, and in a soil which is derived from basic rocks, it is generally present up to 2000 kg per hectare. So the chemical weathering of apatite results in the release of orthophosphate. You know that the phosphorus is taken up by the plants in the form of orthophosphate, either as primary orthophosphate or as secondary orthophosphate, that is H2PO4 or HPO4. And when we said that the primary mineral form of phosphorus which is present, that is the apatite or rock phosphate. So when the chemical weathering of that apatite takes place, orthophosphates are released. H2PO4 is the dominant species at pH value below 7.2. So if the pH value is below 7.2, then H2PO4 is dominant. But if the pH value is above pH 7.2, then HPO4 is dominant. And very little orthophosphate is present in the soil solution at any one time, usually less than 1% of the total phosphorus. So you know, any nutrient is taken up by the plants from soil solution, and the phosphorus generally, of the total phosphorus, only less than 1% of the total phosphorus is present in soil solution form. What are the different forms of phosphorus in soil? So that may be solution phosphorus, and its concentrations of 0.1 to 1 milligram per liter are common in soil. So in soil solution, the phosphorus concentration is 0.1 to 1 milligram per liter, and half of the solution phosphorus may be in the form of soluble organic compounds released by dead cells और इन colloidal organic compounds. So जो solution phosphorus में जो solution phosphorus होती है उसमें half जो है that comes from soluble organic compounds. And from where those soluble organic compounds come? Those come from dead cells or in colloidal organic compounds. And when you add phosphorus, addition of soluble phosphate fertilizers or mineralization of organic phosphorus, that results in the release of orthophosphate into the soil solution, followed by, so जब आप phosphorus soil में ऐड करते हैं या ऑर्गेनिक फास्फोरस की मिनरलाइजेशन से फास्फोरस रिलीज होती है, so where does that orthophosphate go? So that orthophosphate which is released into the soil solution, that may undergo precipitation as iron and aluminum phosphate in acid soils or calcium phosphates in alkaline soils which are stable in organic phosphorus. So when you add phosphorus to the soil, it either undergoes precipitation as iron and aluminum phosphate in acid soils or calcium phosphate in alkaline soils, or it can undergo adsorption to iron and aluminum oxides. And we did discuss once that adsorption means attachment on the surface. So iron and aluminum oxides की surface के ऊपर attach हो जाती है. So the phosphorus which is released into the soil solution, that may undergo precipitation or adsorption. These reactions, precipitation or adsorption, these reactions result in low orthophosphate concentration in the soil solution. So ये वो reasons हैं जिसकी वजह से phosphorus soil solution में बहुत कम होती है कि जो ही एडिशन करते हैं आप फास्फोरस की या फास्फोरस की मिनरलाइजेशन होती है तो क्या होता है कि वो फास्फोरस is either precipitated. When we say precipitated means it no more remains available, it becomes insoluble either with iron and aluminum in acid soils or with calcium phosphate in alkaline soils, or it may undergo adsorption on iron and aluminum oxides, right? And this is labile inorganic phosphorus. Labile inorganic phosphorus means whenever the phosphorus deficiency in soil solution occurs, that phosphorus is released from iron and aluminum oxides to the solution form. So these two reactions, precipitation and adsorption, these are actually responsible for low concentration of phosphate in the soil solution, जो मैंने आपको पिछली स्लाइड में बताया था कि इसकी कंसंट्रेशन सोइल सॉल्यूशन में बहुत कम होती है. The optimum availability of orthophosphate occurs at a soil pH of about 6.5 because precipitation as both aluminum and calcium phosphates is minimized, right? So maximum phosphorus availability is at pH of about 6.5. And one practical aspect of liming acid soils or acidifying alkaline soils is the improved availability of orthophosphate. सो क्योंकि फास्फोरस की मैक्सिमम अवेलेबिलिटी या ऑप्टिमम अवेलेबिलिटी 6.5 pH पे होती है, तो जब हमारे पास एसिड सॉइल्स होंगी तो हम उनकी लाइमिंग करते हैं, उसमें कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट डालते हैं ताकि उसकी पीएच, एसिड सॉइल्स है तो उसकी पीएच कम होगी ना, तो उसकी हम लाइमिंग करते हैं ताकि उसकी पीएच बढ़ के 6.5 के करीब आ जाए। और अगर वो अल्कलाइन सॉइल है तो हम उसको एसिडिफाई करते हैं ताकि उसकी पीएच कम होकर 6.5 के करीब आ जाए। दिस इज डन टू improve the availability of orthophosphate. So this can explain, this is the extent of phosphate retention, kitni phosphorus retain hoti hai which is no more available. So you can say, you can see these are the insoluble phosphates of iron and aluminum or adsorption to oxides and clay, and these are the insoluble calcium phosphates. So below pH 6, we said earlier that iron and aluminum is responsible for forming insoluble compounds, but at pH more than 6 or at alkaline pH, it forms insoluble compounds with calcium. So this indicates the retention, means minimum availability. So you can see the extent of phosphate retention is minimum at this pH, which is about 6.5. So when retention is minimum, it means the availability is maximum. So the optimum pH availability of phosphorus is at about pH 6.5. ठीक है, so दोनों फॉर्म में जो भी फॉर्म आप ले लें, दोनों फॉर्म्स की मैक्सिमम जो अवेलेबिलिटी है वो 6.5 पे होती है. So that's why we say that the optimum availability of orthophosphates is at pH of about 6.5. Many organic forms of phosphorus are also found in soil. So organic forms कौन सी हो सकती हैं? As plants and animal remains or waste products are returned to the soil, readily mineralized organic phosphorus compounds are introduced. So पहले तो हमने इनऑर्गेनिक फास्फोरस की बात की थी कि हमने कहा था कि आप ऐड करते हैं इनऑर्गेनिक फास्फोरस या वो मिनरलाइज होती है, तो वो क्या होता है, एब्जॉर्प्शन होती है उसकी या उसकी प्रेसिपिटेशन होती है. अब कह रहे हैं हम कि इनऑर्गेनिक के अलावा सॉइल में बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स भी होते हैं फास्फोरस के. एक्चुअली व्हेन प्लांट एंड एनिमल रेजिड्यूज or the waste products, these are returned to the soil, these are added to the soil, they are readily mineralized. And you know, mineralized means conversion from organic to inorganic form. So these are readily mineralized, uh, uh, and the readily mineralized organic phosphorus compounds are introduced. So from these plant and animal remains or waste products, what happens is organic phosphorus compounds are produced. And microorganisms, they also produce organic phosphorus compounds as organic materials which are transformed in soil. And the organic phosphorus in most soils may account for as little as 3 and as much as